and I am back for another live. So y'all come on in, come on in. After this live, I am getting on my parenting channel, which is Regina Long with Not So Perfect Parenting, and I will be on there for a little while. Today, I am going to continue on. Yesterday, we talked about the date that my husband and I had. We went to a theater dinner. Well, it was actually a theater breakfast. It was their matinee. And we did that, and I saw this guy who was there, and he was there alone, which is not unusual. Uh, I don't know. It's kind of unusual for that scene. The theater, we've only been a couple of times, and I haven't seen anybody like sitting alone at a table that large. But he was there alone, and it could have been purposely done, or he just liked the play. The play, the reason why I say it was kind of unusual to me was the play was Legally Blonde. And so we know, I had never seen the movie before, and I did watch it before we went to the play so that I could understand the play. And I'm glad I did. They actually, the play changed a couple of things in the movie, and I was like, okay, or yeah, from the movie. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is the guy yesterday. It was unusual because it was pretty much a theater full of women. My husband kind of peeped it. He was like, yeah, it's like 10 to 1. So 10 women to one guy. And most of the guys that came were like with their wives. It wasn't a dude thing where it was like 4 guys at a table or 6 guys at a table. If the guy was with somebody, he was with a group of women. And so with this guy being alone, I just kind of felt like, did he come to get him a date? Because he don't look like the type that just watches Legally Blonde all day. And I actually kept thinking about it because he sat kind of next to us. We were at the table above him, and he was a little bit below, but we were right in view of each other. And I was thinking to myself, like, man, that's kind of smart. And I got the bright idea that we're talking about marriage, and marriage being on the menu, and we are still on the appetizer, meaning getting prepared. And then we'll start talking about the entree, which is the actual relationship itself. And then we'll talk about the third thing, the dessert, keeping it spicy. So, in keeping it fun, thinking about him, I thought it was really smart to go where the women are, because a lot of times when I do talk to people about dating, they often want to know, where can they find someone. Like a lot of women, especially if you're a church lady, you're a Christian lady, you love the Lord, like, oh, I want to find me a great Christian man at church. Okay. I mean, that would be ideal. We would love to find a man at church, but honestly, I've been to maybe a few churches that might have um more men, and they usually don't. Usually it's a lot of women in there, and I won't say what I want to say, but most of the men are probably married in there, and so church is not usually one of them that I would recommend. If they're in there, absolutely go ahead in there and try to find you one. But honestly, where the men are, it's not always church. And hopefully you find you a nice Christian guy somewhere, but it may not be in the church, because honestly, a lot of times when you go in church, it is a lot of women in there, a ton of women. And so that's kind of sad all in itself. But then you go somewhere else. So I thought his idea, if that's what he did, I'm just putting it out there on him. The man, he could probably have everything. I think her name is Ella May or Ella Wee. I think it's Ella May, the blonde, the Legally Blonde girl. He could have everything of her, apparel, video, whatever. Maybe he just loves her. But I got the vibe that dude was in there because he knew there was going to be a whole bunch of females. He's single, and he was thinking, like, maybe I can find me somebody up in here. It'll be great. And that was extremely smart. Now, with him, he looked kind of shy though. But if most men that shy, if they really find what they like, they ain't gonna be shy no more. Because that's what I heard. I listened to a guy, and he was saying that he was pretty shy, but when he found his wife, he was not shy about her. or he wasn't shy either, because he's a nice looking guy too. But he said a lot of women approach him, and the women that he actually kind of wanted, he wasn't shy to approach them. And he said he definitely wasn't shy to approach his wife. So that tells you if a man wants you, he'll come after you. My husband he ain't shy no more. I My husband ain't shy like that no more. My husband has come out of his box. He has come out of his shell. But before, because we've been knowing each other for 10 years now. And so he was shy, you would say, but he wanted me. So, yeah, he was not shy. He basically told me, what was up. And, it's like, I want to get to, he was not shy. So, women don't have men like, well, I'm just so shy. Well, if he wants you, he'll come get you. But going back to preparing for love and all that good stuff, when you start doing the internal work on yourself and the outside, we talked about the things that you should be working on. If your mental health is not good, please go work on that. If your temper is not good, we talked about that. Go work on that. If you want to get your finances together, there's a lot of gurus on the internet that are amazing. I would vet them. If they are talking about staying out of debt and how to pay up bills and all that other stuff, vet them and make sure what they're talking about is what they're really doing, because there's a lot of people who are not millionaires and they are in so much debt and they're trying to teach you all this stuff and they're not even there yet. So, not saying that some people who are teaching these things don't have good information, because some of them are great, and there's some that's not on like millionaire status, but they're debt free. They're teaching what they are. But there are some who's just kind of trying to get people's money, and they're like, oh, I can teach you how to do this, and they're not doing it at all. They're in a lot of debt, and they're trying to get your money so they can get out of debt or get into more debt. Either way. So I wanted to get on here and talk about some of the places to meet people, because people are always wondering. And these are kind of like more men driven places, because women are the ones who always seem like they have a hard time finding somebody. The men, in my opinion, man, you can find a woman on the corner of every corner. Like, you can find a woman anywhere, but the women seem to have a hard time. So I researched some of these places, and it said high-end hobby clubs. So like polo, golf, that kind of thing. You can find men there. Sporting events. Men are everywhere at sporting events. I mean, everywhere. Pick it. NBA, NFL, NHL. I think that's hockey. Any sport, men are there. Like I said, golf clubs, NASCAR is one. All of those racing events, Indy 500, all of that, it is nothing but men there. Country clubs, luxury travel, ski lodges, airport lounges is a big one. A lot of men want the comfort, and we think it's the women, and yeah, the women want it too, but those men, they be in there. Fitness places, especially things like LA Fitness and like those high-end fitness places, them men be up in there. Go on in there and pretend you're working out. Members only clubs, high-end hotels, charity galas, and fundraisers. Men are there. Networking mixers. Most of the time they're spearheading those. So they're going to be there. Alumni associations, industry events or conferences, business conferences. That's a big one, because any business conference I'm at, it is a lot of men there. So get out. Even take yourself on solo dates, go to nice restaurants and things like that. Sit at the bars, sit at the table by yourself. Make sure you're making conversation with different people. And that's how you're going to meet people. You don't often just meet people just sitting in the house or going to the same old places that you're going to. I'm not saying don't sit in the house, but sometimes the dating apps and Tinders ain't it. Go on to some of these events and have you some fun while trying to find somebody. All right, it's the real Gina B. Date with the plate. Only eat it if it's good.